Welcome to Rich Thoughts, Poor Jokes, the podcast where meaningful conversations about mental wealth meet a healthy dose of humor. Each week, your hosts, Dr. Roxy Riefkohl-Cook and Dr. Stephanie Ellis, two of Houston's most respected doctors of counseling and psychology, coach you on the path to mental wealth. They will not just inspire, but entertain you while empowering you to elevate your life.
Welcome back to Rich Thoughts, Poor Jokes, a mostly serious podcast about mental wealth, where two psychotherapists are here to teach you how to have
security, freedom, and luxury in every area of your life.
Yes. So what are we going to talk about today, Dr. Ellis?
We're going to keep talking about sex.
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, and we promised you last time that we were going to talk about, I actually think that the whole episode today is about prioritizing.
It is.
But we're going to talk about sex and work and kids.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to use work and kids as kind of the stand-ins that we hear the most often about things that kind of get in the way of sex.
Mm-hmm.
But that might not be your thing. You might have a different thing that's getting in the way, and that's okay. It should still apply to you.
You bet. And what we hope that we will help you to see by the end of this episode is that you don't have to choose. You actually can fit all three in, and there's more flexibility than you actually could even imagine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so why work and kids? I think because for most of you, sex does not pay your mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming. So we're not saying don't go to work, and we're not saying spend 8 hours a day.
I have to go back
on
to
each
that because you hesitated because it does not pay your mortgage, possibly, but maybe.
I just said for most of you.
Okay, for most of you.
For most of you, sex probably doesn't pay your mortgage.
Right.
For most of you.
Okay.
But you probably do want to be doing that, paying
Yes.
your mortgage. Your kids, if you have them, they need stuff and you are responsible for them. That's 100% true. Also, don't just send them out into the road for 8 hours of the day for your sexcapades.
Yes.
But we're going to tell you, in a real world where you're paying your bills and you're taking care of your kids, you can still fit sex in there, right?
Yes.
But it's like that's the one that everybody's the quickest to give up because it doesn't seem like it has got these, well, it doesn't maybe have the immediate, powerfully negative consequences.
Right.
Even though it's not great.
Mm-mm.
So.
Okay. So when you do have an unhealthy work-life balance, which we are going to also talk about in an entire series on its own, work, this can create problems, yes, to you individually, how you feel, where you're, if you have any energy or anything left in the tank, but it definitely can affect your desire to want to have sex as well. Yeah.
Kids can impact your desire to have sex.
Yes.
The really little ones, they just own your body. They just own your body when you're pregnant. They just own your body or your partner's body after they're pregnant. They just own you. This is a normal developmental stage for you to be going through. And I just want to normalize that. It does take a little bit of extra creativity when that's going on. But then even once they are, using the toilet by themselves, that's an awesome milestone. They go to school sometimes. Then what? Then they start driving and then they leave your house. So first of all, that's kind of temporary, long-term, but temporary. Too long-term to not pay attention to. You can't just probably quit having sex when you have your first kid and then wait 18 years and expect that it's all just going to work out fine again with no communication. And kids are awesome. And I have some and I love mine, and mine are the best out of all the kids in the world.
They're really great.
They're so cool. They're also not the only thing, right? In your marriage is probably not just for them.
Yes. Well said. So Are there things that you feel like we need to look at that would even come before we even start thinking about work and sex and kids when we start prioritizing?
I think sleep.
Sleep is massive.
You don't know this about me yet, listeners, but you'll know it soon. Because one of these days, I'm going to get a whole episode, maybe a whole series about sleep.
Yes. Super important. So all of these things that would fall right under what we would call the self-care umbrella, right? Because if you're having a self-care crisis, I mean, definitely sex is going to be low on the totem pole when you're prioritizing, right? So
you go down sick, and even work's not that high on the totem pole anymore.
True. Very true. Okay, so we just want to remind you that taking care of yourself so that you have enough in the tank to do these other things, even be a good parent, but specifically the relational piece, again, that can get pushed down. And then that's where we're going to have some issues. Yes. And by the way, when we're talking about sex here also, we are also including the intimacy part, right? So the connection, intimacy. And so it's not always about sex, but we're talking about sex. So know that we're speaking about all the things that bring you together that you might want to be thinking about prioritizing.
Okay, so I'd say the things that I hear most are, I don't have time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm too tired.
Mm-hmm.
I have no or low desire.
Right.
And I know we talked about desire quite a bit last time. And I know that today we'll prioritize prioritizing because the solutions to I don't have any time and I don't have any energy, or I don't have enough time and I don't have enough energy are, I think a lot of times we can kill two birds with one stone there.
Yes.
So.
That was well said. So the one that I'm going to just talk about a little bit more, there's no time, right? No time for sex. Okay. So little conviction here, looking at yourself, you have time for scrolling, binge watching, all your other activities that you like to do, golfing, parties, vacations, nail appointments, all those things, right? They seem to somehow, and by the way, all fantastic, all great, all important. But if you say to yourself or to your partner, we don't have time, I don't have time, but then you're fitting in all these other things.
You might have time.
You might have time. Yes.
So some of those things are things that we just get sucked into.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody probably remembers my little scrolling rant from last week, so I won't repeat it for you. Still true, though. You sit down, you start the scroll, and all of a sudden, a lot more time has gone by than you think. Mm-hmm. So that's one piece, is stuff that ends up taking up, we give it more time than we are paying attention to.
Yes.
And then another piece is some of this stuff. I mean, I don't go to the nail shop, as you can see, but I understand if I were going to go, I would have to make an appointment.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, I really want to talk about that.
I know.
That's really good. Appointments.
Is it time to talk about it already?
Not yet.
Okay.
Let's hold on for just another second. Okay. By the way, I said in the other episode, bring back the quickie. I'm going to say that again.
Bring it back.
I think what happens a lot of times too is that we, in our minds, we get something created that this is going to be a long, drawn out sexcapade, and it doesn't always have to be. And so we're going to encourage you to think outside the box, to have communication, conversations with your partner, so that you can you really recognize that there are other things that you can do that are going to bring pleasure and closeness that isn't a 38 minutes.
Oh.
Oh.
Not 30 hours.
Okay. Call 911. Yes, that. Bring back the quickie. I'm going to say that again. Okay. Another one is
exhaustion.
Yeah.
Exhaustion. Listen, if you felt the word exhaustion when I said it, I just want to validate you. You probably are. People are not sleeping enough. We did all this stuff. We invented agriculture, and it was supposed to give us more leisure time. And then we had the Industrial Revolution, and it was supposed to give us more leisure time. And then we got the Google, and it was supposed to give us more leisure time. AI, by the way, is apparently supposed to be giving you more leisure time. But where does it go? It doesn't. I mean, it's not going to this. I know you are exhausted. Okay. We can do it. We are going to sometimes have to actually manage a sleep deprivation problem in a pretty specific way. But we can make space even when we don't have very much energy.
Yes.
So we'll talk a little bit more about that.
Definitely. And I'm just going to throw this out there. Also, when you're prioritizing and you're thinking about how to make sex and intimacy a priority, a lot of times, and again, I know everybody's different, but a lot of times at the end of the day, it's not always the right time for everyone. I mean, you've done all the things and we're like, okay, well, so this is the last thing to check off my list, my to-do list. No energy left. You've done all the things. So have those discussions so that you can see if you're exhausted, but you're a morning person, or you know that you'll have a little more in the tank in the morning, get after it in the morning. That. Okay. Another one we hear is, wait, are there more on that one?
We had desire, I think, on our list.
Desire. Yes.
Time.
Okay. I have no desire for sex. Ooh.
Time, energy, desire.
Yes. So desire, this is a big one. We've shared this in an earlier episode. I'm disconnected from my partner. They're not that nice to me. They're not helping me. All the things. So why would I want to go there with them? Hormones, depression, just not feeling well. Oh, sickness. That's one.
Also numbers 1 and 2, which were time and energy.
That's correct. Yes.
Right. And expectations about how much time and energy it's going to take.
Yes. And how you view yourself, right? Your own self-image.
Ooh, back fat.
That's it. Sorry. Back fat. Do you want to say anything else about that?
I really don't.
Okay. All right. So
how do we
what
do
are we
it?
doing? What are we going to do?
How do we prioritize it? How do we, I realize as we're talking about this, I have some kind of icky feeling about the word prioritize.
Okay.
Like it's very shoulding to me.
Oh, okay.
I just want to make sure I'm not giving that vibe to anybody else because I think probably you should go to work and you should supervise your children when they need supervision. I just want to make sure. Yeah.
Right.
I just want to make sure that word prioritizing is not giving anybody the feeling. I don't know why it's giving it to me. I'll have to get back to you in another episode.
Okay.
About that. So, All right. So let's say this first. They all matter. Mm-hmm. Let's just say they all matter, right? Work definitely matters. Your kids, they definitely matter. But sex matters too.
Right.
And until I think we put it kind of on the same tray as something that matters, it will just sort of naturally fall to the end of the list.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
So what do? We can schedule sex.
We can schedule it.
You can. I've had people say to me like, well, it's going to take all the fun out of it, or it's going to feel, icky if we just schedule it or put it on our calendar.
Ooh, or it doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
What?
Yeah. But that doesn't make sense because we schedule all these other things in our lives. Appointments, hair appointments, parties, vacations. Those things, it doesn't make them less fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Fun stuff and important stuff.
Right.
Get scheduled.
So we are for that. Yes, there is a time for spontaneity, and but truth be told, it's great. Schedule sex, put it on your calendar, and also when you get ready to schedule a vacation, isn't it something you look forward to?
Ooh, anticipation.
Well,
let me talk about that.
Okay.
Because remember last week, and I went on that tangent about these sort of like different types of wanting. And there was that real like pursuing, like body sort of drive kind of wanting. But then there was also the way of wanting sex. It's like, I like you and I like having sex with you and I enjoy that. And so I think that sounds like a good idea to me. And then there was also that like, I think that's important. And I'm pretty sure that future me will be glad that I did it.
Right.
That all three of those kinds of wanting really can fit with scheduled sex. And one of the reasons is because like some people, depending on the kind of wanting they're having, they want to simmer all day. And that's the word you just used, right? You said anticipating.
Yes.
Did you say that?
You said it.
I said it. Oh, what did you say?
I don't remember.
Okay. All right. I said them both. So you like want to simmer all day, all week, all month, like thinking about this delicious, yummy thing that's coming your way.
Yes.
And some people do not want to do that or find it difficult to sort of maintain that like simmering feeling all day. And then it kind of starts to feel like a chore or God, even sort of like dread because it's that's not how their brain works is to think about it all day. But scheduling sex works for both of those.
Yes.
Right? Because if it's on the schedule, then the person who wants to simmer all day gets to simmer all day. And the person who doesn't want to simmer all day can kind of safely put it out of their mind because they know it's on the calendar. It's not like it's going to get missed.
Yes. I like that. So what happens, do you think, though, if you schedule it and let's say you scheduled it during a time when you were dropping your kid off at baseball or dance or whatever, and this is the time that it was going to work out, but then it doesn't work out, then what?
Yeah. Well, so don't schedule sex for when you know you'll be driving. Don't do that. But if you did schedule sex and you
really have to say that out loud?
You said maybe you scheduled it for when you were taking your kid to dance. And so that was just...
I know what I meant, like dropping them off and then coming back to the house.
Okay.
Not the parent that sits in the
parking lot.
In the parking lot. Yeah. Although that could be fun too.
We're giving you all kinds of practical ideas today. Okay, so, but when you scheduled it and you thought it was going to work out, but it didn't, I honestly think the best way to handle this is preventatively schedule sex for twice as often as you intend really to have it.
Yeah.
Because then if you miss it, it's like, it's going to be okay. And you don't have to fret, and your partner really doesn't need to fret, and you don't need to try to like make it up or anything like that. So put it on the schedule for about twice as often as you think. So that you give yourself the flexibility.
I like it.
But you still have some time blocked out.
Yes. That.
Okay. And let's come back here on the scheduling thing and say that time of day piece again.
Okay. So again, conversation, with your partner. The other thing I was thinking actually when I was saying that is, what happens if a person is a morning person and another person's not? Kind of thing.
Chronotype differences.
Yeah.
Because that's a real thing, turns out.
It is. So what do we do? What do we do?
Have sex at lunch?
Afternoon delight? And that what it's
that's an option. That's an option.
It is.
Also, I think we'll talk about this a little bit more just later in this episode even, is back to the return of not everything's the same kind of sex. And so maybe if one partner is not in their most energetic time of day, maybe it's not going to be, right, like the standing on your head acrobatic kind of sex. Maybe it's going to be something a lot more relaxed.
Right. Or let me say it this way. And this is another reason to have sex is to pleasure your person. So maybe you're going to sacrifice a little bit, or you're not wide awake and this isn't your best moment, but your person will get pleasure out of pleasuring you. There's that.
And that's in that realm of, I will be glad later that I did this, even though I feel tired now.
That. Yes.
Okay. So let's use that as a bridge to talk about this other piece. So we said scheduling, and that can look different for everybody. We're not giving a lot of specifics on that because we don't have your schedule.
Yes.
Right. So that has to work. That has to work for you. So does this, which is what kind of sex are we having? Or what kind of intimate time are we having? Just like a nice hallway makeout, that matters. That's something.
It is. So is cuddling.
Cuddling's a thing.
Yes.
A sexcapade is a thing. If
Yes.
you happen to have a Friday off, that your partner has a Friday off and your kids are in school for 5 solid hours, go to town. You have our permission and enthusiastic support for doing that. That's not what a lot of people have.
Right.
So that it returns us to bringing back the quickie. Do you know it's women that I hear that from in my office?
Same.
I don't think that's what the culture thinks.
No.
I think the culture has led us to believe that it's women who want these sort of long, candly bath time kind of,
which is good
scenarios.
I'm not
As long as
pooing on that either, because I like the long drawn out.
I know you like a good scented candle.
That's right.
I know this about you.
Yes.
But it's women that I hear like, where did that go? You know, it was something maybe that was sort of from the early time in our relationship when we were both in that driven kind of hyper pursuit of sex kind of thing. And if you could do it then, you can probably do it now. I'm going to say, I know that we might, especially as we get into our later decades, need a little bit more preparation time, but not an hour, probably.
Yes.
So,
and we did share with you that not all sex includes penetration. So think outside the box.
oh, can I just go ahead and say sex does not always have to include an orgasm for both people either. Like, please hear your partner if they tell you, seriously, in all honesty, that they enjoy having sex with you, whether they come or not.
Yes.
Like, can you just take that sentence,
Yes.
put it in your pocket and take it to bed?
Yes.
Because that is a real thing. And the pressure for that, and we're going to talk about orgasm pressure, I think, next time.
We are.
That's not a good time. Right? And the whole point of this is having a good time.
Yes. Yes. That. Okay.
It could be one person's treat at a time. It doesn't even have to be both people's treat.
For sure. I love
Every time.
the first episode when you called it a gift.
Sometimes it can just be a gift.
That.
All right. So this is what we are saying is the sort of magic formula. Oh, and I'm going to add one piece to it. Magic formula for fitting sex into this exhausting life that is full of work and parenting. So we said, one, it's put it on your calendar like every other thing in your life that matters to you, right? And we are saying, be creative, be flexible here, because there's many things that you could be doing, and they don't all take a lot of time. But I want to make sure that I say this out loud. Be there when it's happening. Be there, like be engaged.
Yes.
And sometimes that's something I hear from women about liking the quickie is that, like, listen, I've got a lot of things. I'm spinning a lot of plates all the time. I just don't feel comfortable putting that tray down for a long time. But if I knew we were just gonna get in there for like a little minute, I probably could feel safe putting down the other things I have to do. Like, my life's not going to fall apart.
Yes.
And so if you can really be there, really be engaged. Engagement maybe is the word I'm wanting to emphasize.
And emphasizing also that we understand that it sometimes, and specifically for certain people, it is very hard to shut down all of the things that are going on in your head and all the to-dos and the lists and so forth. So reminding yourself that you're going to get back to that, but in this moment, do everything that you can to be in it and present.
Yeah. That's the sort of magic fairy dust that makes the whole thing work out. Okay.
You got it. Okay. Are we ready for Crown Jewels?
Are we ready already? Okay.
Yeah. Crown Jewel number 1. Work, sex, kids. You do not have to choose. They all matter.
Crown Jewel number 2. Address the physical, mental, emotional, or relational stuff that keeps you from prioritizing sex.
And Crown Jewel number 3. Schedule something. Be creative about it. Something fun, something interesting. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us today for this episode. The next episode in this series is one that has a really awesome title that Dr. Ellis came up with. It is called
Cats Don't Like Leashes. And if you want to know what that means, you're going to have to join us next time.
So if you have questions, please send those questions to us. Anything about this episode or anything we've already talked about.
Or anything you'd like us to talk about.
Absolutely. That. richthoughtspoorjokes@gmail.com. Like, share, follow us, subscribe. See you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to Rich Thoughts, Poor Jokes. We hope today's episode offered insight or possibility, a new perspective on your mental wealth journey. Tune in next week for more strategies to drive success. Please consider subscribing or sharing this episode with someone else because your mental wealth matters. And a few rich thoughts and poor jokes can help you live with abundance.